Greetings to all of you, wherever you're listening from. I am Commander Bimal Raj, a TEDx speaker, internationally certified trainer and coach, mindset mentor, and a teen and parents coach. In this podcast, The Awkward Talks, I bring you topics that are usually considered taboo or are not discussed freely, but are some of the most pivotal things that we should be talking about.
Hello everyone. Let me ask you something that might shake you a little. Something most people avoid their entire life. But today, just for a moment, let's ask it anyways. What if your whole life was a mistake? I know it's a brutal question. I'm not here to shock you, but to invite you into a space of truth. Because maybe, just maybe, you've been living a life that was never fully yours. Maybe your choices were shaped by fear, by expectation, by habit. Maybe you kept going just to keep up. Maybe you kept quiet just to stay safe. But deep down, you know something is not right. There are these questions that you're scared to ask yourself truthfully. What if I spend my whole life climbing the wrong mountain? What if I've invested decades in the wrong relationship? What if my life that looks good in reality doesn't feel right? Would you dare to admit it? Or would you continue to pretend? Today's episode is not about blame. It's about taking the permission to pause, to question, and if possible, to realign. It's about being brave enough to say, this is not what I want anymore, and I'm allowed to choose again. Whether you're 20 or 60, it's never too early or too late to begin again, to live the truth, to die with no regret. So today, let's get honest, let's get clear, and let's get real. To do that, let's first pause for a moment and do something very few people ever do. Let's take a look at where you really are. Not the version that you post online, not the version you try to convince your parents, your partners, or your colleagues about. Not even the version you're convinced yourself to settle with. Ask yourself quietly, where am I really? No filters, no performing, no justifying. When you wake up in the morning, do you feel alive? Is there peace or excitement? Or is it with dread, heaviness, some invisible weight? Let's talk about your work. Do you feel proud of the work that you do? Do you feel alive while doing it? Or are you counting hours till the day ends? Do you feel respected and valued? Do you feel like you're meant to do what you're doing? What about your relationship? Is your relationship, whether it's with a partner, family, or friends, is it something that feeds your soul? Or is it a place where you walk on eggshells? Do you feel safe to be fully seen? Or are you constantly managing, fixing, adjusting? And how about you treat yourself? Do you speak kindly to yourself? What does your inner voice sound like? Is it kind or cruel? Is it full of encouragement or criticism? Is it building you up or tearing you down? Finally, are you living your truth or living someone else's dream? Well, if all of these feels heavy, that's okay. It means you're being honest, because most people do not stop long enough to ask any of this. They just keep going, keep running, keep distracting. So my request to you is, don't judge your answers. Just be honest, because you can't heal what you won't face. So let me ask you something that might sting a little. Why are you still there? In that job, in that relationship, in that version of yourself? If you ever thought to yourself, I know this is not the life I want, but I just can't seem to break free. Please know that you're not alone. You're not lazy or weak or incapable. You are just human. And most humans, no matter how smart, kind, talented, or capable, they get stuck. But the real question is why? Why do we keep living a life that doesn't feel like ours? Why do we keep saying yes when everything in us is screaming no? Why do we stay in relationships, jobs, environments, mindsets that slowly eats us up from the inside? Well, the number one reason is fear. Not the fear of failing, but the fear of not knowing. See, as painful as your current reality might be, at least it's familiar. You know the patterns, you know the chaos. You adjusted to the discomfort. You've learned to walk with pain like it's your shadow. But the unknown, it feels like a monster in the dark. We ask ourselves, what if I leave all this and it gets worse? What if I follow my dream and it doesn't work? What if I walk away and regret it later? Well, actually, here is the harder question. What if you don't leave? What if you don't follow your dream? Now, what is scarier for you? Building up the courage to change your life, or waking up 20 years from now and realizing that you never really lived? What if you regret not trying at all? Which regret are you willing to live with? Sometimes we stay stuck because we have built a whole identity around our current life. Think about it. If you've been a teacher for 20 years, or a parent who gave up everything for your kids, or a manager, a provider, a strong one, the calm one, the achiever, the peacemaker, these are all labels that we live with. And then suddenly changing course feels like betrayal to others, but mostly to your self-image. You start thinking, if I stop doing this, who even am I? If I walk away, will people still respect me? If I let go of this role, what will be left? Well, what if I told you that your roles are not your identity? You see, butterflies don't apologize for leaving the cocoon. So why should you? The next reason is a big one. What will people say trap? And this one is huge, especially in a culture like ours. Let's say you want to leave a well-paying job to become an artist or a singer or even a farmer, or walk away from a marriage that looks perfect on Instagram, or travel solo at 50, or just rest. You'll hear it all around you. But you have such a good job. Why would you leave? You're so lucky to have a partner. So many are so alone. You can't throw away your stability at this age. And so you stay. Not because your soul wants to, but because someone else's approval matters more than your peace. Let me tell you this clearly. People don't live with your choices. You do. They don't sleep with your regret. You do. So ask yourself, are you living your truth or just renting someone else's version of it? Well, I can share hundreds of other reasons and justifications for not moving ahead, not correcting your mistakes, and not living the life you really want. So again, you tell me, where are you stuck? What lie have you told yourself for so long that you've started calling it the truth? Do you have the courage to relook at your life with new eyes, with truthful eyes? Not to punish yourself, but to maybe finally understand yourself. So your life till now has been like a movie, scene after scene, character after character. Some moments full of joy, some full of pain, some just blurry. But here is the twist. You've been so busy acting in the movie, you never stop to ask, who wrote the script? And do I even like how it is playing out? So right now, let's pause the film and review some of the scenes that has played out. Let's begin with the big ones. This is step 1, right? Look at the job you took, the person you married or didn't, the city you moved to, the dream you gave up, the roles you said yes to. Don't ask were they right or wrong. Instead, ask yourself, why did I choose them? Was it out of excitement or fear? Did you feel pulled or pushed? Was it your voice guiding you or someone else's? No judgment. Just listen to the answer that comes. Because sometimes, even when we make good choices, they were made for the wrong reasons. And knowing that changes everything. Next step. Now think about one major choice from all the ones that I've listed. Pick just one. Ask yourself, what did it give me? And what did it cost me? Maybe it gave you money but cost you your mental health. Maybe it gave you security but cost you adventure. Maybe it gave you approval but cost you your voice. Look at what you considered a success in life. Was it true success, or did it cause you to abandon a part of you? Look at your failures. Were they failures, or did those experiences bring you back to your truth? Next step. I personally believe that it's not about what you achieve in your life, but who you became in the process of achieving it. Because every decision shapes us. But sometimes we are so focused on the outcome, we forget to ask, who did I become? Did you become more joyful or more closed? More curious or more cautious? More you or less you? These are important questions because the version of you that you're carrying today is built on the choices you made yesterday. So the only way to reshape your life is to start noticing which choices made you lose yourself and which ones helped you find yourself. Well, now that you have evaluated a few key things, hopefully, I want you to listen closely to your heart. Maybe there is probably one area that is lighting up, one decision that is whispering to you, man, this needs to change. It could be your work, your relationship, your health, your creativity, your boundaries. You already know what it is. You may have ignored it for months, maybe even years. But today, at this moment, if you did what I asked you to do earlier, you will hear it loud and clear. So instead of trying to change your whole life, just notice this one place that is asking you to be honest. Because here is what I've learned. When you change one thing inside of you, the rest of your life starts shifting too. Let me tell you something that most people don't realize until it is too late. Your life doesn't change in years. It changes in moments, in decisions, in private promises made to yourself when no one else is watching. You don't need 47 steps. You need one deep decision that comes from a place of alignment. One whisper that says, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not abandoning myself again. I'm not staying small to make others comfortable. I'm not going to live in fear. Because when you say that and mean it, the universe moves. Your energy shifts and your life begins to reorganize around your truth. So here is what I want you to do. Find one place where you've been out of integrity, one space you've been shrinking, hiding, faking, pleasing, or pretending. And do something, anything that honors your truth. Maybe it's saying no without guilt, telling someone what you really feel, applying for that course you've been avoiding, resting without justification, or just letting go of something that's already gone. You don't have to figure out your whole life today. You just have to make the next right choice. That's it. Don't even ask where I will be in 5 years. Just ask what feels honest for me to do today. And I want now to speak to every version of you that's listening. The one that wonders if you are too old, too young, afraid to start over, and whatever else that is stopping you. Please know that you're exactly where your soul needed to be woken up. The courage to change doesn't come from motivation. It comes from clarity. And right now, hopefully you have it. So if your heart felt anything during this podcast, even one moment that made you say, yes, that's what I want. Remember, you're allowed to change paths. Even if you have been on this for 40 years, you're allowed to choose differently. Even if others don't understand, you're allowed to disappoint others as long as you stop disappointing yourself. And most importantly, you're allowed to begin again. Even if you are 20 or 60, even if no one gets it, even if you have no plan. Because life is not about how long you've lived. It's about how honestly you're living. So be true to yourself and do something you have been putting off. Like I said, have that conversation. Say no finally. Say yes finally. Change that routine. Book the ticket. Start the dream. End the chapter. Begin again. Even if your hands shake, even if your voice trembles, even if no one claps, do it anyways. Remember, there is no one who is coming to save you because you are the one you have been waiting for. All the best. Well, if you like this episode, please do give us a good rating. Do share with others if you feel it might benefit them. Please don't forget to click the follow button so that you don't miss any of our episodes. This is Commander Bimal Raj, and I will be back with another episode very soon.